Alright, the Nintendo Switch 2 is already cooking up some insane game reveals. Some real 5-star Wagyu beef stuff. But there's one thing missing. Wario. I've seen the theories, I've seen the posts, I've seen the suggestive Wario fan art, but let's break it all down. And then I'll tell you my ideal Wario game for the Switch 2, my own idea that will blow your mind. Now, of course, first off, with GameCube being added to the Nintendo Switch Online library, I'd say there's a very good chance Wario World will be included at some point, and of course we'll probably get Wario Land 4 back on the Switch 2 as well. Now, I have seen a lot of speculation surrounding a new WarioWare using the Switch 2 hardware, specifically the mouse capabilities or even the camera. I think this is the most likely option for Wario. This is where Nintendo will go with Wario. WarioWare seems to be about the only Wario property Nintendo still cares about, and I am 90% sure we will get a new WarioWare for the Switch 2. I'm thinking it'll have around 25 micro games for, $90. The only other option I could see for WarioWare would maybe be Get It Together 2, but that seems less likely. But what about Wario Land? Well, it has been a while since Wario Land Shake It on the Wii, and I just don't see it happening. When Wario Land was a series Nintendo cared about, it never had direct competition, but now we have stuff like Pizza Tower and Hands and Blast, so not only do we not need a new Wario Land, another Wario Land probably wouldn't be as good as either of those. It might happen, but I really doubt it. What about Wario World 2, or really any 3D Wario? I love Wario World, I'd love to see a sequel for it, or another 3D Wario in general, but I don't see it happening. I've seen a lot of people make the point that Bonanza should have been a Wario game instead of a Donkey Kong game, since Wario is the type of guy to destroy everything in his path in pursuit of gold and money. And I don't really see what else they could do for a 3D Wario. And besides, at this point in time, there are much more people who would want a 3D Mario anyway. We can't give 3D games to two Mario spin-off characters and just not do a 3D Mario. Well, we could, but Nintendo wouldn't. One other thing I have seen a concept of is a Wario and Waluigi add-on for Mario and Luigi Brothership. And this could be interesting to see. I doubt it would happen, but it's pretty neat to think about. And I would love it personally, partly because Waluigi would actually be in the spotlight for once because Nintendo will never give him his own game. And that got me thinking, why not make a full Wario RPG? Paper Wario? Super Wario RPG? There's some potential here. But now let's get to my ideal concept for my own idea of a Wario game on the Switch 2. Wario is often used by Nintendo to test out strange, wacky ideas that they don't want to do with Mario. So what if Nintendo settled on an all-new genre and used Wario to steer the ship? What if Nintendo made a friend slop game? Now, if you don't know what friend slop is, it's a word often used to describe games that you play with friends, often with the intent of creating funny moments to post to the internet. Games like Among Us, Lethal Company, Content Warning, and Repo are all considered friend slop games. Now, maybe it's not Nintendo's style. Would they really do that? Well, they did introduce the new capture mode that allows for voice chat, and even the camera. So of course they'd want a game that uses these new features. But what's the vision? What does this game even look like? Here's my idea. Up to 8 different players are put on a map, and they have to steal things of various value without getting caught or killed. Basically the same as Lethal Company and Repo. You can play as Wario, Waluigi, Peach, cause why not, Captain Syrup, Nabbit, a new character, Grabbit, who's just a yellow Nabbit, a black Shy Guy, and a white Ninja. Is this a weird roster? Absolutely. But this is a Wario game. All the characters would play the same, and you have to work together to steal things from a location without getting caught or falling for a trap. Closest thing Nintendo has done that I can think of is the Scare Scraper in Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, of course, this game would be a lot more polished and Nintendo-esque than Repo and Lethal Company, with less of a focus on just creating viral moments and memes. Of course, I think it would also have to have a single-player mode and various other game modes, perhaps even a competitive one, where you're not working together but are instead stealing things for yourself. I could see them doing a lot of cool maps, like a museum with Koopa guards or a pyramid with mummies, maybe even a pirate ship or a castle. As for a name, maybe Wario's Stealthy Sleuths? I don't really know, but I think with the addition of game chat, it could be a neat concept. Anyway, if you have any other ideas of what Nintendo may do with Wario for the Switch 2, I'd like to hear them. You can like and subscribe if you so choose. Either way, I'll be back. Bye-bye.